What up, and what up? Salute to my brothers.
Absolutely. Gunner, what up?
Tad, what up? My brother Tad.
What we doing?
Make
OG
sure you
Wisdom?
check out the OG Wisdom podcast. You know what I mean? You're hearing it live and raw from a Val Lagoon. Good show, my niggas. I love y'all.
Most of our leaders come out of organizations. You have to be a part of an organization to be an effective leader. But how do we determine if you're an effective leader if you don't organize the people? You can't just grab the mic or your phone, get on YouTube and say, yo, I'm a good leader because I think I'm a good leader. You have to have a track record of organizing people, setting goals and agendas and getting them done.
Yeah. Politicians I don't really like. Activism is different because, you know, you got a goal. It has nothing to do with politics. When you are activist, you know, it's for your people.
Make sure y'all get ready to tune in to my brother, my big brother, C-Gutta and Tad, new podcast, OG Wisdom. Better tune in to that. A lot of Jews, a lot of knowledge, a lot of lifestyle, a lot of street talk, a lot of hood tales, real stories. Check it out. OG Wisdom, Tad, C-Gutta.
Peace, family, peace. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, and our brother C-Gutta. Gutta, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, King. Oh, there we go. There we go. Peace, what's the word, Gutta? How you feeling, bro?
Ain't shit.
Oh man, there's just a lot going on.
Nice, cool, yeah. Whole lot.
Oh man, first of all, how was your 4th of July weekend? Smooth, laid back.
Yeah, you know, I don't celebrate that shit. I went to see
Exactly.
I went to see TT big daughter.
Oh, no doubt. How's she doing?
We went by the house. She good. See her daughter big as shit.
Wow.
Surprised the hell out of me. It's like how the time passing.
Yo, I remember when Tiana was pregnant with her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like but other than that, regular shit. You know, I don't celebrate the 4th.
Right.
Oh no, you know, we was down the way. We was on the back block. Dudes had a little cookout. You know, niggas don't really celebrate the 4th.
Yeah. We look for any reason to celebrate. We gonna celebrate.
It's just a
reason to be together.
It's a nigga celebration. Pretty much. Anytime a nigga get a chance to celebrate in all this stressful environment, you know, we gonna celebrate.
That is a fact. Yo, shout out to my kids, man. Yesterday they threw a cookout for all the graduates. My daughter Tati, the one who just got her master's, her birthday is July 4th. It's the only reason we really celebrate.
Okay.
You know, so yesterday they had a cookout for all the graduates because, you know, Tati got a master's. My son Khalid got his bachelor's.
Well, that's dope.
My baby Kayla got a high school diploma. My granddaughter graduated public school, and 2 of my grandsons graduated kindergarten. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. My daughter took my grandson and my daughter to Donny Park yesterday.
Yeah, we get ready to do that too. You know what I'm saying?
It's like for him moving up. Now he in a step up in preschool, so he graduate next year.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Salute to him.
So yeah.
So there's a lot going on right now. So I know you haven't been following the case, but it's something we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal. It's something that most hood dudes done, and hood females. You know, you get some licks, you get some trees, and
they free clothes is a little different, but
so Puff has been acquitted of racketeering, RICO, and trafficking.
But I never got that anyway.
Now it wasn't that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I never understood. That's what I mean. I never got it. I never understood like racketeering, like niggas freaking off, like you, like that's a conspiracy now.
Yeah,
you conspiring it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, like me and you had personal conversations before. It's like but that going across the state lines with the females, you know, that's how they the Man's Act. That's how they got Jack Johnson.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about the racist implication of where that law even come from.
Yeah, that they made that after Jack Johnson. You know, Jack Johnson was whipping all the white dudes and fucking they went. Yeah. So, you know, shit, that's history. You know what I mean? If anybody, you know, but that's basically what it was. And then they made a law called the Man's Act for like, but that's why he went to Europe.
Right.
For across the state line with it's called white slavery. Like in the hood, it's called white slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
You know,
when the black man gets the slave,
yeah, because she was going across state lines with him in states where it was illegal.
Yeah,
because you know one of the bros he was married.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah, one of the women he was married. You know what I mean?
And see, that's what's crazy about this situation with Puff, because and shout out to our sister Farnessa, you know what I'm saying? And everybody who just tapped in, I want y'all to like, subscribe, and share. Give our shout outs early to our sister Anusa Akneti, our sister Farnessa, sister Tish, Concrete Consciousness. We appreciate all y'all for rocking out with us, our usual suspects, and everybody who just riding and cruising, tapping in. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Our sister Farnessa said, do y'all think the judge will give him time served with probation? Following this, I would say, because Gutta hasn't been following the case. He left it alone.
Yeah, right. On all the weird shit. Then especially when you know, I get implicated. I'm like, yeah, this is weird shit.
Right. Because I did hear somewhere they threw your name in there, and I'm just like, but they was reaching for straws, and we knew it was bullshit from the beginning. But to answer your question, Sister Farnessa,
it's a possibility because he don't have I don't think he has any criminal history.
Nah, he doesn't. But now you know what jammed him up, Gutta? Cassie wrote a letter to the judge saying that he's violent and, you know, she's in fear for her life, which we know is bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
Because the judge said he actually changed his mind because of the letter. So which meant his initial response was to give Diddy bail the most, but definitely let him go because these charges is bullshit charges.
But,
you know,
like, all right, you got to look at this. Number one, he got acquitted of the charges. They could like, you know, it's the feds. They do niggas dirty.
Clearly,
you know they do niggas dirty, bro. Like me and you done had discussions on individuals that I was incarcerated with that got fucked around like big time.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But like I said, they could fucking try to give him the whole whatever's on that joint and try to, you know, give him the most. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think the maximum is 10 years.
Yeah, they could try to give him the most, but like you would know it's biased then.
Right.
And then, you know, he got the bread to fight it.
Yeah. I think the whole thing was biased from the beginning.
No, of course.
They created
you made a case out of dude personal relationship with a female. You know what I mean? And what they got going on in their bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
They tried them in the court of public opinion years ago because remember they kept trying to pin Tupac on them with Keefe D getting jammed up. They kept trying to tie Puff into Keefe D case, saying that Puff had Keefe D going at them allegedly, you know, going after Pop. And I said to myself, oh, they coming for Puff. And then it was that.
I know in the times, because that's around the time that I was home. Around that time, I never seen Cub. Not saying that Puff ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because he was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? He was dealing with niggas from Southside.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? That's through surrogate dudes. You understand? Yeah. It's not no dudes like I seen directly.
Right, go-betweens.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I never seen, you know what I mean?
Right, him dealing with dudes directly. And then you know what's crazy about that whole thing, Gutta? Like, if somebody jumped my nephew, I'm getting active on the spot. So I don't know how to. I mean, I understand why they tried to implicate Puff, but Keefe D said, "Yo, his nephew Orlando got jumped, and they went and looked for them immediately." That makes perfect sense. That's in the second. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with the charges, that's deletion in the second.
Yeah.
1 is premeditated, 3 is manslaughter, which could be
well, you got to think about it. Different states got these shit is different.
Yeah.
Now you got death penalty joints. That's first. Like we don't got no death penalty, so
Right.
all this shit is in the second.
Right.
All our murders is in the second degree.
But I knew they was coming for Puff once they started trying to tie him in.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
and when they said racketeering,
it's been a lot. That's what was crazy to me is like racketeering. Like,
yeah,
like,
but now
I like since I've been home, I seen his security. It's not no hood niggas, my nigga.
Professionals.
So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and they not all niggas.
Right.
He got some Eastern Europe. He got an Eastern European nigga. This nigga look like Terminator. You know what I mean? And you know he get busy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, because these men have money, pretty much like Snoop did it.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's hard for me to see that with the level of professionalism when you dealing with all the other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you know, shit with the broads and shit in clubs and shit like that.
That's always different. Right.
You know what I mean? But all like, bro, it's like they made him into a vicious crime lord.
Yeah. But that's what they do with successful black men. They always going to make you an example, whether it's Diddy, whether it's Bill Cosby, whether it's Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Prince, no matter who it is. R. Kelly's kind of different because we some of us saw the video.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch the video. I couldn't watch it.
But niggas knew he was a weirdo from like when he married Aaliyah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas is like, how old this nigga is and she 15, cuz? Like niggas is like, oh, he's a weirdo.
Right. Running around with his girl. But then, so with all of these charges, right? With all these charges, because he was already convicted in the court of public opinion, like you and I talked about. Like I said, I've only been around Puff 2 times in my life. That was at one of his parties, which wasn't a white party. It was a party at the casino up in Connecticut and at a video shoot, at one of Big's video shoot. That was it. That's the only time I ever been around Puff. But you got people talking as if they really spent time with Puffy, as if they was in the room. Even some of these people who are sitting on these podcasts, former bodyguards and people who said they've been at his parties, all of these people were adamant that he was guilty of these things. They didn't see it, but they know it happened. We were conditioned, right, Gutta, that he had children, that it was trafficking. After his home was raided, they started showing the tunnels leading from one mansion to another, and all of them lead to Hugh Hefner's old house. And it's crazy that they never brought Hugh Hefner in. You know, I mean, he got to do his thing. And we know he was taking young women across
80. That nigga was like 80, 90.
Still pimping.
That nigga was ancient.
Still pimping in the highest fashion. So when they did these things, they were programming society to already find him guilty. And I said, you know, I'm not saying the man's no saint. Again, I don't know him personally. I know when people are being lied on.
It's the common narrative that they can do it, we can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even to take it out of that and take it into sports right now with Shedeur Sanders. They kicked him from, he was supposed to be a top 3, top 4 pick. Kicked him all the way down to the 5th round because his father was outspoken, who is a Hall of Famer on not who he looking for, but like teams that he don't want his son dealing with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
better. Yeah.
So they kicked him down. They kicked them from the 1st round all the way to the 5th round.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Nobody said nothing in the same thing when Eli Manning did basically the same thing. He refused to go to the Chargers.
Right.
That's how he ended up with the Giants. He refused to go to the Chargers.
But they're able to do that, and I think
Exactly.
That's
what I'm saying. And Dion didn't even do that. He was just saying like, "Yo, I know what teams I don't want to pick my son."
Right, because he knows what's in his son.
Yeah, because he know what's in his son's best interest.
Yeah, our sister Farnessa said, "What I don't get is why they never seem to learn how these other people operate. How many of them need to be made an example of before it clicks?" I agree with you 100%, sis.
That's because of the perks of getting in that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you get the perks and then motherfuckers lose their way.
Yeah. My sister Tish said Brooke Shields was a baby. Yeah, dealing with Hugh Hefner and them. I think it's and I think a lot of times.
What's the other broad that died? That had the old nigga from Texas.
Oh, the blonde head chick was in contact. I know exactly what you.
She was like 18 when she married this nigga, and he was on death's bed.
Yeah.
So it's you know what I'm saying.
Nicole Smith. Nicole Smith.
Exactly. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's that narrative is like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we can't do what they do, even though they'll tempt you. And they bring these women, they bring the drugs and alcohol. And to all the people that said Oprah was going down, Obama was going down, they were saying all of these people were on these tapes. And all of this is this fabrication, because how do these people that did all these podcasts know that Obama allegedly was supposed to be on the tape, that Oprah allegedly was supposed, like, where did they get all of this information from? And they spoke as if it was factual. What Puff is guilty of is being part of toxic relationships. That's it. These were his girlfriends. And he messed it up for a lot of women because you can't get flued out no more. You want to go to Cancun? You want to go to Jamaica? Nope, we good. You stand right here in the projects. Take you to Pebbles Beach. Because this Me Too movement, all that jammed it up. You take any chick across state lines, as we see now, and it's a crime.
What it is like I said, it's been a crime. But when they find the need to get you, that's a joint they can pull up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like ignorance of the law is no excuse.
It's no excuse. So, and what I think is crazy, right? Dealing with Cassie's situation and Jane Doe, right? What I find funny is these were willing participants. None of them said they were forced. In fact, even the male escorts and testimony said these women set it up. They asked Puff for the freak-offs. And I think this is the part that we need to really peel back the layers, because not to minimize the victimhood of people who really are being essayed and abused, but you can't cry wolf. You can't participate, benefit from it all. And then when things don't go your way, you want to say, oh, he forced me, he coerced me.
This is
even though it's evidence you wanted this stuff.
I'm not going to say they weren't victimized, but they were victimized prior to, you know what I'm saying, dealing with cuz. So
prior to it, right.
So now they already been conditioned to be on that type of shit. I remember some shit I saw on YouTube, and but it was something where 50 was saying about, like, he sent cuz a tape. Like, and I don't, but this is the type of shit that's already been out there.
Oh, Diddy sent 50 a tape?
No, 50 sent Diddy a tape and it's like, yo, this is who you fucking with? Boom.
Okay.
And she, wilding.
Yeah.
This is from what he said, from what I saw on like a YouTube short. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying is, she already was preconditioned to go like that already.
Yeah. So now, do we cancel her? Like, because we in the cancel culture.
You can't cancel either one of them.
Right. And talk
like they both of them need some healing.
Yeah.
That's all that is, bro.
Yeah. And I think that's the part that's missing, because we vilify, not we, society vilified,
and our community jumps right on it. You're right.
Right. And that was the sad part, because the moment they say a black man did something, everybody's on it, right? But check this out, Gutta. The dude, Michael Jeffries of Abercrombie and Fitch, who they got evidence to indict him on child trafficking and things like that. He got a bail and little to no coverage of what's going on with him. Not just him, but dude from Nickelodeon and all these other European they get bills, but for some reason,
the name got a new case, got a new trial.
Weinstein, right?
Yeah, he got a new all while this going on, he got a new trial.
Right.
All that's why I say it. So like that's a level of distraction.
Right. But not just distraction, it's a way to get us to turn on ourselves. We're turning on each other. Because one of the things that people forgot was right before this happened, Puff was suing DeLagio. And people underestimate how powerful DeLagio is. What was so flying under the radars that DeLagio is now in trouble, but not selling people real tequila. People really thought they had the Casamigos and they had rubbing alcohol or something.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He won, because that's what he was suing about. The quality the quality of the liquor. You know what I'm saying? Right. That they gave him. The quality and the amount. You know what I'm saying? When it was supposed to be all his, the quality and the amount wasn't right.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to dive into, because these are things that's flying under the radar. So meanwhile, where we're mad at Puff for allegations, it's people that's really doing the foulness that we not even giving attention to, or even know that it's really happening at the time. You know, as Sister Farnessa said, and Harvey Weinstein trial was going on right on with Puffy, but the media
he got a new trial.
Yeah, and I remember he was.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at that shit, bro, it like, to me, it's like a distraction from all these white, rich, and powerful motherfuckers that's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, we in the social media age. So what's going to pop more? Somebody don't really know about, even though he's large and owns some substantial shit. It's going to be the person that's more famous.
Right, the popular dude.
Exactly.
The dude that everybody
who's the most. You got to think about it. Hip hop. Yeah. Just black culture in particular, not even just hip hop.
Right,
black culture in particular.
And see, right there, I was getting ready to go right there too.
Even some of the things that aren't actually black culture, is just that we're the faces of it.
Right, they made us the face of it
because it's really criminal culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they put it on us.
And they pull it all on us. Because how many motherfucking white gangs you got?
Yeah, right. And we know there's tons, but we can't name 5 of them.
I can.
Oh, I know you do, because you study.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
you know what I'm saying? You just said something though. And I don't want to move too far, because this was going to be my next question about the culture of protection that we have when we talk about not snitching, protecting the bag, idol worship. All that falls under this culture, because, all right, for those who were there, whether you were security or entourage, people got on these podcasts to get paid and say they saw these things. So why not tell? Is that the Stop Snitching campaign? Were they protecting their financial interests, aka protecting the bag, or was it idol worship? What's your thoughts on people not speaking up sooner prior to all of this coming out?
Which, like, you gotta explain it to me, give it to me clearer. Like, for who?
Well, all right. So you got you got people, because I don't. Let's take a Gene
Oh,
Deal.
you mean like the security and all of that?
Yeah, and I don't know Gene Deal personally. There's no knocking him, but he's been very vocal about this, right? But now, why not, as a sworn law enforcement officer, if you've seen some unsavory things, why not report it? Why not speak loudly prior to this? And maybe he did, and I just missed it. But my thing is, whether you was part of his entourage, his security, whether you was part of his staff, we got this not snitching culture in our community. We talk about victimhood and not victim shaming, but our silence make us complacent.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In situations like that, it's just like you only gonna see it when it's on the camera.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, cause I've been around dudes that, you know what I'm saying, that were abusive. They never gonna do it around nobody that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, object to no shit like that. Yeah. And then you tell the chick, like, yo, why you even fucking? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they stay in the situation. So most of the shit gonna be behind closed doors. They'll see it, yo, damn, why she look like that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't think none of it, but like I said, if dude's seen it, that sucker shit, number one. If you just sit there and witness it and you ain't, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then, you know, I don't think it's idle worship, it's a paycheck.
Right. No, I'm talking about like for some people outside of it. Yeah, not the ones who get paid. That's why I brought up the entourage, the hanger-ons, the people, you know, because how can I say it? Some people were supporting Diddy because they knew it was just crazy. The allegations was crazy. They knew him personally. They was privy to the inner workings of the relationship. They knew what was going on. Then you got some people, and I'm not saying these people are wrong for supporting Puff or right. I'm talking about the culture of protection that we have when it's a celebrity, or even our indictment of the person because they're a celebrity. Because you still hear things, oh, don't never trust a celebrity, don't support a celebrity, as if these people aren't human. People got their own thing. And it's a culture that we created in our community. Because white folks are not talking about Michael Jeffries and Vince McMahon. They're not putting it in mainstream media or even trending in their spaces, in their internet spaces.
Because they're gonna protect their own.
Right.
Anybody like, but see, is don't get it wrong. If the media, you got to think about it. These people is billionaires.
Yes.
So, you know, and they do like it's only a few corporations that own all the shit in the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you dealing with that, if he got backing from one of them joints.
Right. Right. Because I know our two major news sources.
So now they the arm controls the media. One of the, you know what I'm saying? Out of them joints control part of the media.
Right.
So they can get it like
they can rewrite the narrative.
Yeah, cuz don't own that part of no media, you know what I'm saying, empire.
And do you think that's one of the things they're fearful of? Because we also saw
that's why they so fearful of social media. Because like all right, I give a perfect example. The way the young people in Africa have learned so much about what's going on over here, you know what I mean? And they disseminate it, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube on the continent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They disseminate it, you know what I'm saying, on the continent. So now
get information in real time.
Exactly. So they getting information. So now nobody can't tell them nothing about anybody.
and to the fact that
I
we
don't
all
know nothing about exactly.
because you've been to the continent, I've been to the continent. We know other people who've been there. So now people on the continent can literally say, no, I got Black American friends back in the US. I can call them, I can FaceTime them, and I can get the real story on what's going on. In fact, one year I was in Ghana and the young people was saying pretty much what you were saying, but they was like, yo, we watch Sonetta. We watch Sonetta. And I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Because they getting a different perspective on how we operate over here.
Yeah.
And how we move.
And how we see ourselves.
How we see ourselves in relationship to the continent and
exactly.
the diaspora.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we not separated, but we are our own entity.
Yeah. So with this culture, Gutta, let's say they let Puff come home, because so now it's all up to the sentencing now. The max he could get is 10 years for each charge. They may run it consecutive, they may run it concurrent. What do you think Puff can bounce back from this?
His business is outside of the music, is outside of music and entertainment. He got business outside of music and entertainment. So, you know what I'm saying?
So there's a possibility.
Yeah, as long as he stay out the way.
Yeah. I think so too, because this is the same thing we heard with Chris
definitely
Brown.
Ain't, you know, the face and all that shit or nothing.
Not for a minute though. It's gonna take him a minute.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a public perception.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like I said, you still got money out there working. Shit, you gonna always Puff a hustler.
Right. And Puff is definitely a hustler.
One thing I could say, nigga, hustler.
Yeah, I asked this because, you know, I think some people say that this was part of a humiliation ritual, but him challenging the powers that be with DeLaggio, with telling Black folks to divorce the Democratic plantation. It's so multi-layered right now. How can we get our folks to really see the bigger picture of what's going on, as opposed to just taking things for face value every time it's thrown at us?
Sad to say, but it's a lot of people want into the system.
Yeah.
I'm saying they buy into the system. Whoever is telling them, however they look at it, they buy into the system.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we just do this, if we just do that, if we, you know what I'm saying, instead of dismantling the whole thing, and you know what I mean, and just allowing us, or just give us ours, and y'all can stay and crash. You know what I'm saying?
Simbo said he can only go to invites, no more hosting the party. And when he say the party, I'm thinking about when he told Fab, we ain't party. Like, oh, that was a wild moment in hip hop. Salute to Fab. But yeah, he said we didn't party. Sister Anusa said he's gonna change his name and he's going to change his name again and get right back to business. Rightfully so. He got to get back to business. The business of making money, because that's who he is. And he don't make money just for himself. He make money for the corporations that sponsor him and stand beside him, because they know he gonna make them some money. DeLaggio got their money on the strength of him and his deal with Ciroc. You know? And I think that was one of the biggest issues, because they was going south in terms of finances and profits.
That's why
his name to it, the money went up. And he still
things I think they'll try to jam him.
Yeah, I know he
of course got influence in these courts and all that, my nigga.
Say that again.
These motherfuckers, them billionaires got shit. Look at all the shit Trump just got away with.
Yeah. When you got the money and finances, because they tried to do the same thing to Michael Jackson. You can remember, they were saying Michael Jackson was broke. And he was like, "Yo, how am I broke? He said he make $8 million a year or $80 million a year." Mike was like, he make millions every year. He's like, I can't go. That's when he called Tommy Mottola the devil.
Yeah, how he gonna go broke? All that he owned half the
Right.
Beatles shit. You know what I'm saying? He owned a bunch of motherfuckers publishing. How he going broke?
Yeah. Gave Little Richie his catalog before he transitioned. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dope stuff when we work together and really pull together. And not just pull together, but when we support one another. Because like you said, we're not hearing about Michael Jeffries from Abercrombie and Fitch because these European folks are staying on code. They may not even support it, but they're not going to put it out there on Front Street, make national headlines, or even put it on a podcast and things like that.
Until they get caught.
We see one of our folks stumble and fall, we like, look how many people celebrated when they put Jay-Z name in the case. Once Jay-Z name came in the case, that went viral. And Jay-Z killed that real quick. Say it again?
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, you got to think about, like I said, this the social media age. So it's a lot of people that, all the people, especially in our culture, you know what I'm saying? All the people that risen, and not saying nobody didn't do some dishonest shit. Yeah. Right. Not to say, none of them, but you start building the conspiracies. Now, this nigga done killed somebody. They done did all type of shit. You know what I mean? So, and that get views. That get views.
Hold on.
And all that.
Why you right there, Gutta? Why you right there? Yeah, because they threw out the arson charges. They were trying to see, he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
Yeah.
What's the producer, Little Ron, said they had popped somebody in the studio and dragged them out and all that stuff. That was dismissed. All of these allegations that was made. Where's the whole Cuba Gooding Jr. part of it? Because remember, that went viral at one point. They were just sharing pictures of Cuba Gooding Jr. Like Little Ron's whole testimony wasn't even a factor in the case. And remember, he was supposed to have been very vocal, talking about he was abused. You had the little girl from Rochester, New York, her whole story stunk. She's the one who put Jay-Z in there. And I noticed Jaguar Wright got silent when they put her name in there. They threw Jaguar Wright name in there, but of course, it was proven that she wasn't there. She wasn't at these parties. And I say that, right, Gutta? Because everything that's presented to us as a community, hip-hop, I won't even say just black folks, because there's more than black people in the hip-hop community. We accept everything for surface value. You know what I'm saying? We look at the surface and we don't put on our critical thinking skills and say, well, let me look at this deeper. Because such and such said this. How much validity do it have?
We do it on certain shit. Like I said, like I think I told you this before. We got a large population of individuals that they only gonna pay attention to something that they already got a preconceived notion about.
Right. Confirmation bias. You're only gonna look for stuff that's in alignment with what you're saying.
Exactly. So they're gonna get them clicks because the same amount of people that love Puff and Jay and whoever else they try to slander, you got the same amount of hate.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you got 10 million motherfuckers that love you, it's 10 million that hate you. So, and they're gonna click on to whatever slanderous shit that's said about you, they're gonna click on that. But I mean, bro, like that's just how it go. That's just how this. That's just how this internet age. Like I've seen that. That's how it works.
Yeah. So, Gutta, let me ask you, because even in the hip hop community, right? I didn't see many people stand with Puff. I didn't see many people say, "Nah, I don't believe this." This silence, this silence that was loud. Jay-Z said, "Yo, I don't know Puff like that. We only do business together." Like, word? Jay said that. Meek Mill noticeably silent.
Honestly, that's really the truth.
Yeah, it is, but is it?
Yeah, like with Jay, like I've act like when we've been around and all of like nah. You know what I'm saying?
So all the pictures at the parties is just photo ops. Like, yeah, let's just boom, boom, boom.
Pretty much. That's
Okay,
bro. That's what a lot of dudes.
Because you know both of these dudes have been around them personally.
Yeah, that's what a lot of dudes.
Right.
Like a lot of dudes don't really fuck with each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Bro, you in the entertainment industry.
So none of the love is real.
The majority of it isn't real. Like you had an era where if a dude ain't fuck with you, like I give you like when I was home in the 90s. Like if dudes ain't fuck with you, they wasn't doing music with you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the truth.
And then it changed.
Song with that dude. Yeah.
Then it changed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure exactly when it changed. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't around everybody. You dig what I'm saying? It was only the people I was around. So I can't speak on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody, like the joint when Kim did the shit with Mobb Deep. Niggas fucked with Mobb Deep.
Right.
And when like, oh shit, she like what to be on the Havoc beat? Fuck yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was certain people fuck with certain people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it was. And then, like I said, it changed. And then it got more and more like what I understood, it got more business like.
Yeah. And in fact,
opposed to person like it was like dudes is like, man, fuck that. This nigga paying me so and so and so and so.
Right, get this money and bounce.
Yeah.
You can see that with Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, how they was the big three and they went on tour together, and then they just. Our sister Tish asked a good question. Have they done any songs together? I can't think of any songs. Only thing I could think of is Hov and Big. I can't think of any Jay-Z and Diddy songs.
Oh shit.
If y'all could think of a Jay-Z and Diddy song, put it in the comments.
What Puff rapping?
Yeah, with Puff rapping or even doing the music.
Yeah, I think he produced something. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Guinea said he can rebrand everything through Christian. In all honesty, he can be behind the scenes as a handler. True. It goes to show how gossip can obscure everyone's vision in this day and age, fam. Yo, that's a fact.
You got to think about it, Carl. Puff will be 56 this year.
Yeah.
You got grown kids, my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That 50 Cent remix, I Get Money. Jay-Z jumped on that joint? I don't remember that.
Shit, I don't know.
Okay. Simbo said, I know what girls like.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the one he produced. Puff rapped on it?
I don't know. I think he's just saying he did the beat.
Yeah, I think he did the beat.
Yeah. But to your point, it's business relationship. So like moving forward, we coming down to 15 minutes. This time
like Jay wasn't like when we went to the white parties, Jay wasn't there.
Okay.
Like the first ones we went to, Jay wasn't there, like on no hangout shit. Like I don't never think like I don't never really remember them on no hangout shit.
Okay.
And I
right.
hung out. We hung out with both of them. You know what I'm saying? But I never remember them on no hangout shit.
Right.
Like,
might be at the same party.
Yeah, like call them, we gonna be over here, and
right.
That I know of.
Right. So What does,
Man, you got to
from
think
your
about it.
perspective?
Like, this is what I think. I think dudes heard whispers and don't want to like just jump on. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Just
I don't
jump on the
think.
bandwagon. So
Yeah, and I don't think anybody believe nothing about like the weird shit, like the trap, like the racketeering and all of that.
right,
Yeah.
and the children, because you got to remember, people were saying children were involved. And anytime you talk about children, you're going to touch people's heartstrings. You know, the most cold gangsters we know. Don't play with the kids. Don't play with the kids. But you get allegations about children. We on your back. We're gonna investigate, but we're gonna start looking at you with a side eye. Like, hold up, son, you playing with the children? We're not doing that. And that's what I'm talking about, the climate and the lies. So with the hip hop community, what does accountability look like, right? Without throwing the person away. Because I mean, for a lot of people, I think I asked you in the beginning, you said, yo, I ain't never seen none of that. You said off the rip. I asked you, you was like, yo, I ain't never seen none of that. Yeah, I've been to the parties. I ain't never seen none of that stuff they talking about. So you was like, yo, I don't know nothing about none of that. Why other people just think, because ain't saying confirm it or deny it. Just say, well, yo, look, I never seen it. I ain't saying it ain't happened. I'm just saying I've never witnessed it. I watch people distance themselves. And as a community, whether it's the quote unquote black community or the hip hop community, how do we move forward knowing that we got an enemy out there that don't want to see none of us succeed, whether it's hip hop artists or whether it's just black folks in the hood? How do we hold our folks accountable, still give them space for redemption? What does that look like to Gutta?
Shit. Man in jail.
Say it again. Put him in jail.
He in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, believe me, he got time to think, and you know what I mean, and ponder. You know what I'm saying? Everything in his life.
Right.
You got like it ain't. Clearly, it wasn't the money. The money wasn't. It ain't do it for you. So you know what I'm saying? It's something. It's something that you know you got to work on. Like I said, it's healing, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. What's crazy is like dudes are throwaway. Somebody that's a resource and hold on to a creep nigga from the town.
Bro, you pulled that thought right out my head. I was sitting here thinking that, bro. Yo, that's a fact. Yo, we hope.
It's like, yo, man, my man just came home, blah, blah, blah. You know he a piece of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, our sister Farnessa said, remember, they was always trying to say that Diddy used underground tunnels in his house. Did they ever bring that out in trial that they were underground tunnels in the house? I think they mentioned that early. But of course it had no relevance because the only real quote unquote victims were women he was in a relationship with. Same thing with Bill Cosby. The one person out of 70-some supposed victims, the one person he was convicted on was the woman he had an affair with, the woman he was in a relationship with. Valentine's Day gifts, tickets, and trips. You know, our sister Vanessa says some won't be redeemed. In war, there's always casualties. So some black folks are choosing to be casualties. Yeah. Our sister Tish said, nah, they was friends. I just looked up some pictures. Yeah, I guess that was just for the gram, Tish. Guess that was just for the gram. Guinea said, it's ironic, either you saying that, Tad, and it's 30 years since the Million Man March, we haven't attained nothing, bro. built or built anything. We have no true brotherhood amongst us as black men, bro. Am I lying, bro? Nah, you're not lying. I mean, we got a little brotherhood, a little bit. But I hear what you're saying. Since the Million Man March, we all took that oath, whether you was in DC or watched it on C-SPAN with your family. Yeah. And you know what's crazy that you bring that up, Guinea? Since the Million Man March, you don't even see nobody even talk about it or try to revive the spirit. Because I guess because we old heads, right, Gutter? We remember the Million Man March.
No, it's
because the Million Man March was impactful for our community. We all took a pledge and said we was gonna do better because this shit that's going on is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what you gonna say, Gutter?
what happened was, like I said, and this was like the internet was there, but we just hadn't tapped in yet.
Right, because it was mostly for the jobs.
Yeah,
It was mostly for work. Yeah.
but the like on money,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
start making money, you start forgetting shit.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a certain demographic that start to make money, because these aren't the people that been trained in a certain way.
Yeah.
We wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like the people that got money weren't trained
To be community centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was trained to get mine, like, because you got to think about it. It was mostly hustlers, dudes that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, I told you before, them dudes would be the biggest coons, my nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad to say. You know what I'm saying?
I think we seen the value of the hustler shift because it used to be crews and then everybody got individual and start going out for self because the crews used to get money and they used to look out for the elderly and the children. Ice cream truck pull up, every kid get an ice cream cone. Miss Jones tight on her rent.
It started getting more and more ruthless
and selfish. Yeah.
And dudes start chipping their mans and shit like that.
Yeah, the foulness.
You know what I mean? Like I said, that's a mafia within the mafia.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, not just like greed, basically.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Straight greed.
Like when people, I just look at it like this, bro. And they like this even before the hip hop. Nigga, Eldridge Cleaver became a Republican.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about Eldridge?
Married the white lady. Like, and was like,
God, you don't open a whole nother door.
So it's like I say, it's niggas get a certain amount of money and prestige from the system, they'll flip.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Because that's why even in the conscious community, I used to get mad when people call each other an agent with no real proof. Because Eldridge Cleaver used to call Kwame Ture an agent back when he Stokely Carmichael. But like you said, what did Eldridge Cleaver do? And it's a Caribbean saying that says the emptiest vessel make the loudest noise. So when you hear dude mad loud, rabble rousing, because I learned this from the conscious community, from the sucker police to the Dr. Umars, the loudest ones is the ones who ain't really doing nothing. They just making noise because they empty on the inside. A full vessel, they ain't gonna echo too much. You know what I'm saying? Sister Farnessa said that's what she was hinting to when she asked when was the last time we had a real revolution after Malcolm and Martin. Right, because Dr. Khalid didn't even get the support that he deserved. You know what I mean? And Sister Brooke, yes, Puff did. All the tunnels led to Hugh Hefner's old house, but Puff didn't have Hugh Hefner's old house. All the mansions on that block, their basements led to Hugh Hefner's crib. So that's how they used to get the bunnies in and out without being detected back then. But you're right with that about the tunnels and things like that. You know? Word. Peace to Maurice. All right. The lames took over when certain dudes either got murdered or went to jail. Sad but true. And as you said, gentlemen, that bag changed a lot of dudes' morals. Facts, bro. Our conscious community. Yeah. That's why we still rock. You know, me and Gutta still study. And actually Gutta be studying more than I do, because these dudes done pissed me off to high heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the point of debating this and that about like what social sect that you deal with is asinine to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not giving no real history, like this is supposed to be something where you come in and impart, you know what I'm saying, information on people that they can learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
like I said before, the point of history to me is to show the younger people is like, yo, this is what we built. So it's in you.
Yeah, greatness is already in you.
It's already in you. Listen, all the creators that they took during the transatlantic, during the Maafa, look what happened in these United States that we created.
Yeah, and the lies that's been told about who we are. As a people that we've never built nothing.
No, but look what we did here. This is what I'm saying. It's like all the geniuses that got snatched from there was brought here. And some was already here because we had created cultures here as well.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. All around the world.
Yeah. So like I said, bro, when it's all about that money and that individualism, because you had certain dudes that was getting money that thought about the community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you at the same time, look what you're doing though.
Yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Shit. We got about 3 minutes left. Gutta, what's some of the things you want to lead the people with, man? Before we get up out of here.
Shit, don't believe all this dumbass shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Research. See, that's what it is. It's like,
yeah.
We got a problem with nobody, like, and I have this in many discussions with a lot of people, man. Read.
Yeah.
You asking me this, that, and the third. We get in the debate, and I tell you, and I give you the books to read.
You want to argue facts over feelings over facts.
Yeah, I give you the books to read, bro. Read them, and then you can come back, and then if you decide what you read is in opposition of what I'm saying, then you can come back and be like, yeah, well, I ain't going for that because I read that and whoop, 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 and I'm not going for it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we don't read none, or if we don't know the shit and we just assuming shit, and dudes take whatever state they in and apply that to federal statutes, that shit don't work. It's a federal case, it's federal statutes, so all that shit apply.
Right. Well, I just say I wish the best for Puff, you know, being somebody who's been fighting for their life behind that wall. Yeah. That shit ain't no joke.
I don't wish that shit on nobody, God.
Or people don't understand that, man. It's almost like being buried alive, and then you dealing with the people that nobody want to be around. You right next to them. The rapist, the crackhead, everything, the murderer. You don't want to be around none of this shit.
Like it'll be a dude that they'll hell, and this nigga did some, like, he did some creep shit in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might have been, you know, he want to go up the Hershey Highway and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Or, you know what I mean? Or he done got in there and did some jailhouse telling. You know what I'm saying? It just be, but they'll hell him. He's a real piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I heard Colin Ferguson was a snitch. I don't know how true that was. They was like,
that's a fact.
Everybody said Colin Ferguson was like, yo.
Immediately.
Like, do not pick him up. Y'all know who Colin Ferguson is. Look him up.
Yeah.
We thought he was revolutionary.
Long Island Railroad shooter.
Yeah, thought he's a revolutionary. But let me get a shout out to our usual suspects. Our sister Anusa Agnetti, our sister Farnessa, always on the check-in. Sister Tish, Concrete Consciousness. Definitely appreciate you tapping in. Royal Jenkins is always a blessing and pleasure. Simbo from the SMD 97 show. And it's not SMD like you would think. Shout out to Shogun. Guinea Ofaluchis. I'm gonna practice that. I don't want to mess the name up. Our sister Brooke at Even Melanin. Yo, if y'all get a chance, man, y'all talk about reparations.
That's Guinea Ofaluchis.
Say it again.
Guinea Ofaluchis.
Guinea Ofaluchis. That's how you say it? No doubt. Salute Guinea Ofaluchis. All right.
Salute General.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to James Dog 007, always tapping in. Shout out to our brother Maurice holding it down. Glad you appreciate the chat and all the things we bring here. And definitely we'd be remiss if we didn't salute our brother Rich Nice, always holding us down, whether on live or on the playback. You know, check me.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
We at it again.
Load, yeah. Let's start loading this shit up. Have more people come in.
Yeah. And hit us for some topics you wanna, you know what I mean? You want us to touch on. We just thought this Diddy thing was important right now because we gotta clear up the misconceptions. This is something me and Gutta said last year when it all first started. It's like we don't see how you're gonna get hit with the RICO or the trafficking, maybe some other things, you know, a bad relationship. That's all I see. He just got convicted of a toxic relationship, man. Yeah, how that man enjoy his sex, that's that man's business, man. I stay out of people's bedrooms now. I'm too old.
That was the thing. Once I think that's when they had something when you paying the sex workers.
Yeah. And even then, like that wasn't much.
Like
sex workers said the women were.
But this what I'm saying is like you giving a nigga a charge for like how many senators and like this nigga Trump was fucking a porn star, my nigga. It's like, come on, come on, my nigga. It's like, come on. You know he paid for the and gave 100 racks.
Hold up, Bill Clinton was getting top in the White House.
But I'm saying this nigga Trump gave this bitch 100 racks, my nigga.
Yeah.
So come on, cuz. That's what I'm saying. Is like they paying for pussy. This nigga want to pay for whatever he paying for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But we gonna get up out of here. It's 3:00. We all got our Sunday evening things to do because we still got a life right outside of here. I definitely want to check out my sister K Fighter. You can catch me and her rocking out every Thursday on YouTube.
Y'all gotta pull me up, huh?
Oh yeah. We keep saying that too, right? Before I know it, Thursday be here. But we definitely gonna bring you in, Gutta. Word. All right. So we definitely want to thank y'all for rocking out. Okay, Gutta.
Let me talk my shit.
That's right. So we definitely want to thank y'all for rocking out with us. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true, and remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, it's always better days ahead. Peace.